everybody, Allie here, also known as the Freckled Yogi. In our practice for this week, we got a request to do a little class that you could do before or after you go on a walk or a run. So my intention is to help you open up those hips a little bit, open up the shoulders, and focus on warming up those ankles and feet a little bit as well. And please do know that I love getting requests for class from you, so you can always text me. My number is 240-647-9285. And you can ask me to send you a class for like a particular area of the body that you're working on. You could ask for a request on like a particular pose that you're trying to accomplish. Or if I've had a request for like yoga for golfers, now yoga for walking and running. If you want yoga for dancers or tennis players, whatever it might be, let me know and I can make it happen for you. So with that, let's get started. We are going to begin in a tabletop position. So we'll find our hands beneath of our shoulders and our knees beneath of our hips. You're welcome to tuck or untuck those toes, whatever feels good for you. And find some length in your back body. Reaching the crown of the head forward and pressing the tailbone back. Seeing if you can widen the distance between the fingertips. Let's go ahead and inhale. We're going to drop the belly down to the ground. Lift the gaze up to the sky. And as we exhale, we'll round through the back body, pulling chin into the chest. Inhale, belly drops down, gaze lifts up. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, belly down. Exhale, round through the back body. Return to neutral back. Keep those toes tucked and you're going to push the hips back towards the heels. Go ahead and walk those fingertips a little further forward, pressing just the tips of the fingers into the ground. Pressing the forehead down towards the mat, really reaching the tailbone back. Letting the breath make its way all the way down to your belly. As you take your next breath out, go ahead and walk those fingertips off the mat and over to the right side of your space. Really pressing that left hip back behind you. Letting the breath flow along the left side body. And walk the hands back to center. And walk the hands all the way over to the left side. Really pushing the right hip back. Breathing down to the belly. Letting the breath create space along the right side body. And walk the hands back to center. Pushing the fingertips down into the ground. Go ahead and inhale, roll on back up. Finding the hands back beneath the shoulders. Pressing down through those fingertips. Inhale, belly drops down. Gaze lifts up. Exhale, rounding through the back body. Chin to the chest. Press those hips back towards the heels. Really important to keep the toes tucked here. If this is a little too intense on the toes, ankles, knees, please feel free to utilize some props. So this is a great place to put a block on top of the heels, beneath of the hips. A pillow or bolster would also work well here, even a blanket. You can also, if you don't have any props nearby, just feel free to lift those hips up a little higher. I just ask you keep the toes tucked. That's the key thing in this pose for now. So anytime you need a break, lift the hips up, keep the toes tucked. We're going to reach the crown of the head up to the sky, give the shoulders a couple shrugs. Let those shoulders drop down. And we'll take some nice big old shoulder rolls, really squeezing the shoulder blades back. And some shoulder rolls forward. Find some stillness in the arms and the shoulders. Lifting the crown of the head up. Let's go ahead and bring the hands to the heart. A little pressure between the palms. Inhale nice and tall and exhale. Begin to twist to the right. You're going to look over the right shoulder. You're welcome to stay just like this, or you could take the left hand, bring it to the outside of the right thigh, and maybe reach the right arm back. Looking out over those right fingertips. Letting the shoulders relax away from the ears. And come on back to center, hands to the heart. Inhale a little taller. Exhale, twisting to the left this time. Looking over the left shoulder, remember, you can stay just like this, or you can release right hand to the outside of the left thigh and extend the left arm back. Looking out over those fingertips, relax the shoulders down, opening the chest to the left side and come on back to center, hands to the heart. We're going to shift our weight forward, bringing those hands back beneath the shoulders, untuck the toes, and give them a pitter-patter on your mat. Come on back to stillness with those toes. Find those hands grounded beneath the shoulders, creating length along your back body. Reaching through the crown of the head, pressing the tailbone back. Let's go ahead and begin to shift our weight into the left knee. We're going to extend the right leg back. Square off those hips. Engage the right glute. Press back through the right heel. Soften at the elbows a little bit. Then, as you feel ready, you're going to lift up that right heel and bring the heel in line with the hip, making sure to re-ground that right hip back down. Then go ahead and bend at the knee. And begin to take some pulses with that right foot up to the sky. Keep going. Squaring off the hips, engaging that right glute. And a final 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Begin to pull that right knee into the chest, rounding through the back body. Press the right leg back. Again, pull it in. Kick it back. Pull the leg in, round through the shoulders, press it back. 2 more, in, back, in, and back. Bring that right knee down to the ground. Shift the weight into that right side. Keep those elbows soft and strong. Ribs pull in, shift to the right knee, kick left leg back. Square off the left hip, press through the heel, lift that left heel up. Engage the glute. Ground the left hip. Bend at the knee. And begin to take some little pulses. Keeping the hips as squared as possible. Reaching through the crown of the head. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the left leg in. Press it back. Pull it in. Press it back. And in, and back. 2 more, in, back, in, and back. Lower the left knee down. Go ahead, give yourself a couple wrist rolls. 1 hand at a time. And find your way back to stillness. Hands grounded beneath the shoulders. Fingers are as spread wide as possible, pushing down into the tips of the fingers as well. Let's go ahead and tuck the toes under. Begin to press the hips back. Push into the palms. Lift the knees up and reach your hips all the way up and back, creating as much length in the spine as you're able. Softening at the knees, letting the tailbone reach up nice and high to the sky. You're welcome to remain here in stillness. You're welcome to pedal the knees and wiggle the hips, finding a little bit of movement. Let's go ahead and shift our weight into the left foot. Sweep the right leg up and back. Let that right hip open up and maybe even bend at the knee. Go ahead and take some knee circles with that right leg. And reverse those circles. Lower the right foot down, shift the weight to the right side, left leg up and back. Press through the heel, open up the left hip, bend at the knee. And take some knee circles with that left knee. And reverse those circles. Find stillness, lower the left foot down, lift the hips all the way up and back. Go ahead and shift the weight forward, drop the knees down to the mat. Keep those toes tucked. Go ahead and lift on up. We're going to shift our weight into this left leg. We're going to bring that right foot forward. Go ahead and wiggle those right toes up to the top of your mat. And you're going to find right knee stacked right over the ankle. Now it's also fine to have the knee slightly behind the ankle. All right, now if you have some props, blocks in particular, this is a great place to use them. And if your knees are feeling a little sensitive, you can either add in a little cushion with a towel or a blanket, which is what I will do, but you can also fold your mat in as well. And that gives you just a nice little extra added layer. So feel free to find some cushion, extra cushioning for the knees. Finding that right foot at the top of the mat. Pressing the hips forward. Pushing the chest to the top of the space. Letting the shoulders slide down the back. Grounding through the palms. And let's begin to press the hips back. Straightening the front leg, flexing that front foot. Press that right hip back a little more. Left hip squares forward. Maybe slide the hands in a little as well. Breathing down to the belly. Keep those hands where they are. We're going to begin to inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, press the hips back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. Shifting that weight forward. Hands on either side of that front foot. Let's go ahead and press down through the hands. And we're going to slide that right leg back in. Go ahead and pull that left foot to the top of the mat. Wiggle the toes out. Find the knee right over the ankle, maybe slightly behind the ankle. Let the hips square to the top of your space. Breathing down to the belly. And imagine that you can carry your breath into the front of the right hip flexor. Press the hips back. Straightening the left leg. Flexing the left foot. Left hip presses back, right hip squares forward. Reaching through the crown of the head. Breathing all the way down to the belly. And let's inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Shifting the weight back to the top of your space. Hands on either side of that front foot. Pressing down into the palms. And we're going to slide that left leg back. Taking those blocks out of the way. Finding your way back to your tabletop position. Let's go ahead and swing the legs around to the side. Finding your way to a comfortable seat. And then go ahead and bring yourself to crisscross applesauce or an easy seat. So you have one foot slightly in front of the other. We're going to take this foot that's slightly in front of the other and slide it out. Now if you'd like, you can also use your props here for a little bit of support beneath of any of the knees to soften into our fold. So you're going to have that one foot out in front, hands to the top of your space, and walk those fingertips out as you fold over the legs. Now you should be getting a really nice stretch in the IT band and in the outer hip area of whatever foot is in front. So on that side with whichever foot's in front. So I have my left leg in front, so I'm getting a nice stretch in my left hip. If you're not currently getting a nice stretch, you're going to want to play around with the distance between this front foot and your body. So you might want to slide it further out. You might want to bring it closer in. You're going to have to play around with it and find your sweet spot. letting the torso hang heavy, breathing down to the belly. Roll on up. Go ahead and switch, so whichever foot is in front will come closer to the body, the other leg will slide out. You're going to walk those hands out and bring yourself all the way down over the front leg. Remember, you can play around with the distance of the front foot to the body, changing it around however you need so it works the best for you. Let that breath be smooth and steady. And let's roll on back up. Lift those knees up, bring them into the chest, wrap the arms around the shins. Give yourself a really good squeeze. Let's go ahead and extend that left leg a little bit. We're going to bring this right leg a little closer into the chest and take some ankle circles. You want to make these circles as big as possible. So think about the big toe tracing the circle. Nice and slow. And then reverse that circle. Go ahead and extend the right leg. Pull the left leg in. Hands wrap around the shin. And big ankle circles. And reverse those circles. Go ahead and extend that left leg long. Sitting up really nice and tall. Let's go ahead and inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring those hands back behind you. Pressing the fingertips onto your mat, fingertips pointing to the back of your space. Squeezing the shoulder blades back, letting the chest lift up. Opening up the heart. Allow the ribs to flare slightly. And then come back to a neutral spine, letting those hands just sweep around. We're going to soften up those knees, giving them a nice bend, flexing the feet, pulling the toes back. Go ahead and inhale, sweep the arms up again. This time as we exhale, we're going to reach forward, folding over the legs, trying to find some belly to thigh connection. Bringing the chin into the chest, hands wrap around the bottom of the feet. Let the breath come all the way down to your belly. One more deep inhale here. And as you exhale, go ahead and roll on up. One vertebra at a time. Lifting your way up to a nice comfortable seat. You're welcome to keep this little bend in the knees. You can let the legs go straight, whatever feels better for you. We're going to go ahead and take our hands, bring them back behind the body. Bring those palms towards each other. Now maybe you can grab onto those palms and interlace the fingers. Maybe that's working for you today. Otherwise, you're going to take the hands and grab onto opposite forearms. So wherever you are, you either have opposite forearms or interlacing the hands. If you are interlacing the hands, you're going to begin to press the hands down to the ground, really letting the shoulders squeeze back and let the chest open back up. Otherwise, if you are holding to opposite forearms, same idea of squeezing shoulders back, lifting the chest up, but you want to think about pressing the elbows towards the earth. Letting the chest really open up. We're going to go ahead and switch to our second side. So if you have opposite forearms, you're going to go ahead and flip whichever forearm is on top of the other. And if you are interlacing your hands, then you're going to flip your grip so that way you have both interlocks of those fingers. So come onto that second grip or side, and then press the hands down or press the elbows down. Let the chest open up. Shoulders squeeze back. Keep breathing down to your belly. And release. Give them a nice little shake. And come back to stillness. Let's go ahead and bring the legs in. We're going to find our way to a nice comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. Sitting up really nice and tall, letting the hands rest on the thighs with the knees, reaching the crown of the head up to the sky, and go ahead and gently shut the eyes. Taking your awareness down to your belly, feeling the length in the back of the body. And notice the softness of your belly. Let's all go ahead and inhale, sweep our arms up and overhead. And as we exhale, we'll bring our hands down to heart center. Another deep breath in. And exhale out. Another inhale. Exhale, release. One more breath together. This practice, we'll breathe in. And breathe out. Namaste. Thank you so much for taking the time to practice with me today. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and again, I love to hear feedback from you, so let me know if you like this class, if you want some more little mini-series like this, if there's anything in particular that you're working on in your yoga practice. Any way I can help, I am happy to be of service. I love you and appreciate you very much. Hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon.